How's it going? Today we're going to be tying a Lady Ethna salmon fly. It's a fly I've recently been asked to tie through one of my friends on my Facebook page. The hook I have in the vise is a Partridge Patriot, size 12, silver double, and I'll be starting off using some Globe number 12 for the butt. So roughly where the two hooks start to splay, you want to catch on 4 or 5 turns just to secure the thread on. Trim off the waste. Now you want to cover up the end of your thread that you've trimmed off and come back up in nice touch and turns. All you want to do really is just form a nice butt for the fly and then bring everything up towards the eye and touch and turns. So from here you can whip off three or 4 turns will do, because you're going to cover it over with some white thread. Trim that off. And before I cover it over my white thread, I just want to give it a wee touch of the varnish just to help seal the butt so as it doesn't fray. Just makes the fly a wee bit more durable. Usually one coat does, and it doesn't take very long to dry. So where we cut our green floss off, you take your orange or your white thread. It's just uni thread and 8/0. Catch it on and work down and touch and turns. Just to roughly where you want the butt of your fly, and trim off. So for the tail, we're going to be using pearl crystal flash and 4 to 6 strands, just depending on the size of the fly. It's only a size 12, so 4 strands should be enough. So all I do is I take the one strand of crystal flash and I fold it over twice. Set it on top of the hook, a couple of loose turns, get it roughly where I want, and then tighten it down in. Trim off that lip and then just cut your tail to whatever length you want it. From here now, trim off the excess of your crystal flash. And we're going to be tying in the rib. So the rib for this is copper wire. You want to catch it in just at the butt. Get it secured. So whip up the body and back down again. Now for the body, we're going to be using our silver holographic tinsel. So I'm going to cut a bevel in it just to help get me started. Catch it on, bring your thread. Touch and turns if you can, it just helps keep your body smooth and uniform. It'll be a benefit whenever you're winding up your body. And the opposite way to the way we wind our thread, just bring up your silver tinsel in nice overlapping turns. Catch it in, a few turns of your thread, trim off any excess. So now take our copper rib We want to bring it up the same direction as we're winding our thread. Nice open, even turns. Bring your thread over. Secure it down. And then just wiggle it a bit to wear your thread off. So for our first haggle, we're going to be using some mallard. And I've just picked off a feather here where the fibres should be going roughly to the point of the tail, maybe a wee bit further, and peel off any of the fluff. So we bear our tip up. Now bear in mind the stalks in these feathers get very thick very quick, so you're only really going to get a wrap or two at best. Take our feather with a natural curve pointing down, and catch it in with the tip. Trim off the excess. Take the feather either in your haggle pliers or just your fingers. Stroke the fibres back. Now, one turn. Two turns. You can see we're well up the stalk there. Everything's starting to get thick. So we catch that off. Trim off our excess. And try not to be too greedy with getting too many turns on. There's nothing wrong with a sparse fly. Just take your dubbing needle, pick out any of the fibres that could be trapped down. And I've got a couple there that are wanting to point forward, so all you do is stroke them back with your finger and thumb. Catch them in and tie them back with a few turns of thread. It's just sitting a wee bit high there at the back, so I can get a few more turns over it. With the front haggle, we're going to be using some silver badger, and we don't want the fibres to be quite as long, maybe about half the length of the fibres from the golden or from the mallard. So just try that for size. It's not too bad. Peel off any of the flue at the back. Catch it in with my haggle pliers, and then just gently double the fibres over. If you can get them doubled over well, that's a definite advantage, because you don't need as many turns of haggle to give you a fly that's as dense. So now that we've got them doubled over, offer the tip up, catch it in. Half a dozen turns should do. Trim off the tip. And now with our haggle, same as before, 2 turns should be more than ample. You don't want it too heavily dressed. There we go. You can be over eager and go for an extra turn or two. All it does is lead to problems at the end, because you've got too much material up around the eye and it's very hard to work with. So just stroke any fibres back that want to be running forward. A couple of turns of thread, there's a few on the bottom. Another couple of turns, last one. There we go, that should get us. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to whip this thread off. Six turns. Trim it off. And we're going to finish with a red thread, which is a UTC. I like this thread for finishing off rather than the uni thread. I think it's just it's a bit brighter once it's varnished. You can finish off with the likes of some of the glow bright flosses, but on the small flies they tend to give you quite a big head. So we'll just whip off. Trim off our thread. And a dab of varnish just to seal the head. Probably take a couple of coats of varnish just to make that fly look like anything, because it's had the white thread, and below a lot of the varnish will soak in. So you're probably looking at about 3 coats of varnish really to seal that fly. And here we have the Lady Ethna, a wee fly that originated in the River Drowes. It's very good for grills around this time of the year, and has been known to take a fair share of springfish as well. Just that varnish is soaked in there very quickly. Get another coat on it now. There we go. The Lady Ethna. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.